Yeah, big. Talk your shit.
So much tea going on. Diddy home has been raided. Lil Rod, the producer, has claimed that he has been sexually assaulted by Diddy, and allegedly Young Miami and Daphne 50 Cent's baby mother are both sex workers. Let's get into this tea, honey. Thank you for coming to Live in the Hive. It's your girl, Honey BQB. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
They canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
Diddy has come under investigation following raids of his home by authorities. He is reportedly being probed for allegedly running a sex trafficking ring, with his suspected crimes bearing similarity to those of Jeffrey Epstein. Ooh, child, a mess. Several lawsuits have been filed against Diddy, accusing him of sexual misconduct and trafficking. His former producer, Rodney Jones, leveled several allegations in a lawsuit, as did others. The authorities have interviewed witnesses and are actively investigating Diddy as a result of the accusations. One of Diddy's associates, Brian Paul, was arrested at an airport. Rodney Jones' lawsuit claimed Brian Paul supplied illegal drugs and guns for Diddy. It was alleged Diddy has a drug problem and used Tucci, also known as pink cocaine. Now, I might have been saying that wrong, honey, because I don't do drugs, okay? Now, Young Miami name was implicated in Rodney Jones' amended lawsuit. It was claimed she brought Tucci, the pink cocaine child, on private jets for Diddy. The lawsuit also alleged Young Miami, along with others, received monthly payments from Diddy to work as sex workers.
I'm really a whore. Like, I'm with a W. Like, I'm a whore.
But define that, though.
Like, I'm a whore.
50 Cent ex and baby mama, Daphne Joy, was allegedly one of Diddy's paid escorts. 50 reacted angrily to his revelations online. 50 Cent says, "I didn't know you were a sex worker. You little sex worker, LOL. Yo, this ish is a movie." Now, Daphne Joy took to her Instagram after these allegations came out and stated that she would be hiring an attorney because this is character assassination. She also accused 50 Cent of domestic violence as well as him raping her in the past. Now, 50 Cent then came back and said that he would see her in family court. This is a mess, honey. Rodney also says that he was shown footage of Stevie J being intimate with a man to convince him to allow, Diddy to sleep with him as well. Now, since then, Stevie J has called 50 Cent out, wanting to, do a boxing match. He's upset about it because 50 Cent is not, shy. He's going to post about it and put it on his Instagram. Check out this clip.
Anyway.
You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she would gang them? Or is it that you sucking little Rod dick? However it go, I want you to fade, nigga. Fuck all that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis!
It also was reported that Mr. Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his home, has several recordings of celebrity artists, music labels, executives, and athletes engaging in illegal activities. These individuals were recorded without their consent and knowledge. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person who has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Child, they say don't hang out at Diddy house. You leave when the devil come. What did Denzel say, child?
Told me we'd be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. and he would say that, I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. And I followed Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, it ain't nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ partying with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you know, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen. What you do off screen is more important. You know, I've never, ever had to sell my body sexually for any roles. God covered me. And never have any studio head came on to me sexually or you know, I know that happens in the industry. Never had that happen to me. When I got the audition for my films, I read, I prayed, I fasted.
Now, it's been rumored that that's the reason why the home had been raided, because people are upset that are in higher power because they had no idea that they had been recorded, child. So they are trying to cover up their tracks as well. Now, this is all alleged. Rodney Jones also brought up Natina Rubin. She was the victim from the 1999 club shooting involving Diddy and J-Lo, and gave an interview confirming that Diddy did shoot her in the face.
I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, you know, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. I mean, things were very, very different in 1999. I mean, did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Well, I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to my children was of the utmost importance to me. Being whole and being able to mother them. That was, you know, primary on my list. I didn't have any reason to believe that to think that someone would not believe me. But as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening.
So, as I mentioned, Diddy has denied being the one who pulled the trigger. But this is interesting, Natanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. I mean, what did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid. But I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still bear I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me. I have a mantra, having my say. There was a time a few years ago where I had a talk radio show called Having My Say. And that's very important to me. I believe everyone is entitled to have their say. Far too often we don't hear people or listen. And so I just wanted to get it out of me because it was like an audible, deep breath that I needed to take. And I made the TikTok video not expecting it to go viral. Went to pick up my daughter, came back home, and she's like, and I literally told her, I'm like, well, you're probably going to see it tomorrow. I made a video on TikTok. Maybe 100 people will see it. By the time we got home, she said, Mommy, it was 70,000 people. And I could not believe it. But it was time. It was time for me to speak. I'd stayed quiet for 25 years. It was my time to speak.
Yeah, we don't know yet what's going to happen with the P. Diddy situation. Obviously, again, he hasn't been arrested. There's clearly a very big federal investigation happening now. But I'm thinking back to other cases, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. When they started to dig, all sorts of stuff came to the surface. They reopened old investigations. Would you like to see the investigation involving you getting shot at that club be reopened?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The irony is there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened. My shooting, ironically, the night I went into the club, I had a comb in my pocketbook called a rat tail comb. People in the beauty industry or people that use that type of comb would be all too familiar. It's just a comb. It can't do anything to harm anyone. And I had the very security officer who lied during the trial, Sharice, I forget her last name, but she literally took it from me and kind of pushed me like, you can't take this thing. This is a weapon. To let other people in with guns. If someone had combed me 24 years ago, I'd be fine. You wouldn't even know my name. But having been shot by someone that was allowed to come into the gun when I couldn't bring in a comb, I would absolutely unequivocally like the case reopened. It needs to be reopened. And the saddest part for me is, had people taken what I said more seriously and listened more intently, 24 years worth of people probably would not have had to suffer.
Yeah, and I ask you this respectfully, just because I think people at home might be wondering, and I've never been shot. I can't imagine what that's like. But, you know, in the chaos of that moment, and it's a club and there's people all around, like, how can you be sure that it was actually P. Diddy?
Because I watched I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting. It was just male machismo and bravado at first. A lot of pushing and shoving, raised voices, hands. But then I saw them reach in their waist and draw from their hip. And I instantly turned to my friends and told them, be careful, watch out. And when I turned back, I know, and I've said over and over, I've heard the voice of God said, you are about to be hit. Calm down. And as I said, no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns and I felt the impact to my face instantly.
Wow.
There's no doubt in my mind who shot me.
Now, during the raid of the home, it was shown that Justin Combs was taken away in handcuffs. Since then, rumors have been floating around about Diddy's sons and saying that they are a part of this ring as well, allegedly. Now, Quincy Brown, who is actually Al B. Shore's son, was raised by Diddy, has said to him to come home. The door is wide open. You're safe here, son. I love you. Pops, you're biological. Okay, so he is telling his son that he needs to get out of there and come home. I know Misa was trying to cry out for her son to come home as well some months back last year. Things are just really just chaotic over there in the Diddy world, okay? Child, let me know what y'all think down below. Leave your comments. Let's get into this tea, honey. Thank you for watching Live in the High. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.
I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy. Real street nigga forever. Bitch.